Hey everyone, Bitcoin now has a $4.3 billion market cap. Pretty impressive. I think that's actually a milestone for the human race. We're heading toward a situation where we'll have no banks, no masters. A Bitcoin is a form of digital currency, and it comes in the form of Bitcoins. And in the same way that Napster or another file sharing service doesn't rely on a central database or server. It's just, individuals sharing files amongst each other from computer to computer, peer to peer. Bitcoin is similar. You don't need a bank or a third party to send your Bitcoin to anybody else around the world or to receive Bitcoin from anybody else. So the price of Bitcoin right now it's fluctuating a lot, but around $350 a coin. And people are already saying that this is going to come down, it's gone too high. I think that kind of thinking, definitely this is a volatile, unpredictable thing. Who knows where it'll go? But that kind of thinking is flawed because a Bitcoin is just kind of a arbitrary unit that helps humans understand it. I think understanding Bitcoin makes a lot more sense if you think of it in terms of a technology that needs a certain amount of bandwidth in order to be successful. So what I mean by that is PayPal's transaction volume in 2012 was around $145 billion. Bitcoin's total market cap is $4.3 billion. So I think that the total valuation of all the Bitcoins out there needs to get to at least, $145 or $150 billion if it's going to eventually overtake PayPal, which I think it will for a couple of reasons. One, speed, the other, ease of use, and of course, much lower fees, almost no fees whatsoever. A lot of countries don't have stuff like that, and recently in Cyprus they saw that their government was considering a asset seizure from everyday citizens, what's called a bail-in, where you just take money out of citizens' bank accounts in order to finance the government. And so people are concerned, and this provides an alternative. You also see China starting to get really interested in Bitcoin. BTC China launched earlier this week. I think all these factors, when you add them all up, Bitcoin, if it's going to be successful, needs a much higher valuation, or it's just not going to work. If not, there's just not enough bandwidth for people to trade goods and services with each other, and for people to store their wealth using Bitcoin. And of course, the price of Bitcoin could go down or it could go to zero if governments outlaw it, which I think would be a huge mistake because Bitcoin is going to unlock a lot of wealth. What it enables is for people to do business with much lower transaction costs, which is good because if I want to send you money over PayPal and they take 2.9% of that, that's a lot of money, especially when you add it up over the whole economy around the world. If you can do that same transaction and it only costs you a nickel and takes 20 to 30 minutes to actually clear and settle, that is revolutionary. And I think that it's going to unlock a lot of wealth for that reason, and also because it enables microtransactions. So what this means is if you see an article or a video online that you really like and you want to support, you might not be willing to spend $5 or $10 to support that person. You might not want to buy their t-shirt or whatever they have to support their production, but if you can just with a single click or a single tap contribute 30 or 40 cents worth of Bitcoin to that person, and it's done instantly and it doesn't have any kind of transaction costs, well, that multiplied by tens of thousands of viewers means that person has an income to continue producing good independent content. So that's going to be huge, I think. There are already technologies coming online that offer services like that based on Bitcoin. You can't do that with a credit card or with PayPal because the fees just eat up the whole amount of that microtransaction. It doesn't make sense to do it that way. I think that Bitcoin is kind of like email in the sense that it's a medium and a platform designed purely for the internet, whereas things like snail mail are obviously not designed for the internet. Fax machines not designed for the internet. So I'll continue to follow this story closely because I think it's an area where the mainstream media, as usual, is doing a really poor job. They keep talking in terms of, is it a bubble, is it hype? I'm not interested in those things. I'm not even interested in the price of Bitcoin right now. I'm interested in how many people start to play with it and if the merchant acceptance grows, because that's what will make it successful, aside from the other things I mentioned. Some other things that I wanted to bring up. This is going to be a long video if I don't edit it. So I have this ebook that came out yesterday on Amazon. It's being exclusively sold as a Kindle ebook, so if you have a Kindle, Just type in all your favorite conspiracy theories are wrong, and you can download it instantly. It's only $3 for the first couple weeks. That's what I'm pricing it at because I don't want to make it too expensive for people. And it's a book where I really kind of revisited what it means to put out a book. Like in the same way that Apple, when they came out with the iPod, they're like, well, these other MP3 players have a bunch of buttons. We don't really need that. We'll just do a track wheel and the thing in the middle, and that'll be just simpler and nicer. With this, since it's an ebook, I was like, I don't need an acknowledgement section. I don't need a forward from a famous person. Don't need a table of contents. I just want to put out the ideas that I've been holding on to for the past few months, put it out in a format that's fun and enjoyable for people to read. And I was really concise. A lot of authors, they try to hit that magic 150-page mark because that's what a lot of books that go on sale in bookstores tend to be, at least 150 pages. With this, I actually started with something longer and kept boiling it down, kept chopping out words. Can I say this in less words than I'm already saying it? So it became kind of an exercise in Zen conciseness. The total book is probably something you can read in like an hour or two. It's really short. So yeah, the link to that is in the video description below. I think people who enjoy my podcast or these videos will really get a kick out of it. Part of it's about Bitcoin, but that's only a small part. So definitely check that out as well. And thank you for watching.